Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm just gonna sit down with you and talk with you about something, about one of my biggest struggles in life. And that biggest struggle, okay, other than this big struggle, because this honestly is a struggle, about this, because I talked about it a little bit. I didn't really talk much about it, but I mentioned it in my previous video, how I thought, my mom and I originally thought it was like carpal tunnel or something, but apparently I have a cyst in my wrist. It's like right in there, and it hurts like really bad. That's a thing. So yeah. But we're not gonna talk about this. We're gonna be talking about something up here, and that is my ADHD. So for any of you who don't know what ADHD is attention deficit hyper disorder. It is a thing that in your brain so basically it affects everyone differently. Everyone has like different types of ADHD. There's ADD, which is attention deficit disorder, and then there's ADHD, which is attention deficit hyper disorder. So I have ADHD, which is the hyperactive, if you want to be technical, hyperactive. I say hyper because I can be very hyper. So I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was in 5th grade. So I was, how old are you in 5th grade? I think you're like 10. I'm going to say 10, yeah. So I was 10 years old when I was diagnosed, and immediately I was put on medication. I'm not going to say what kind of medication I was put on because we're just going to keep that disclosed. But I was put on medication at the age of 10, started that when I was 10 years old, and I still am today. I'm 17 and a half, and I'm still on ADHD medications. Ow, that hurt. Okay. Anyway, so for a diagnosis, what you do is you go to a psychiatrist or psychologist. I don't remember. I was 10 years old. I'm pretty sure I want to say it was a psychologist. And you take this written test. It's kind of like in the format of like the ACT. That's what it's like, but it's like way shorter. Took me, I think, 45 minutes to an hour to complete. And it's just a bunch of questions that you have to answer about your personality, about yourself, and about how your brain works and your organization, and all stuff like that. So the way ADHD affects me is in the way that it affects my learning. So the way I learn is completely different from people who don't have ADHD. I don't really know how to describe my way of learning. It's kind of hard to explain because I truly am still kind of learning what's best for me, how I learn best in school or work situations, or even just at home, like how I learn how to do stuff around the house or something like that. I don't know. Just basic things like that. Another way that it affects me is through organization. Now, this is closed for a reason because behind this curtain is my room, and we don't want to see that. It's a mess. It's so messy. There's clothes everywhere because I'm also a procrastinator and I'm lazy. But that's not the point. Organization is also mainly affects me with my schoolwork. As you guys saw in the last video, the last time I ever actually wrote down a solid week of homework ended in December 2nd. And that was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And that was the second full week of the entire semester that I actually wrote down a full week of homework. My organization is not very well. I am constantly losing papers because I'm misplacing them, and I'm like stuffing them in my computer, like in my book bag, and just like leaving class because I'm like feeling rushed and things like that. And then another way ADHD affects me is my concentration. I have like really poor concentration. Like in school, it takes like every bit of my brain power. Yeah, brain power. Okay. It takes every ounce of my brain power to be able to concentrate and focus in school. And it's really hard for me. My teachers notice that, and they know that it affects me. So I do have an intervention specialist through my school. I've had her since I was a freshman there. I love her. She's freaking amazing. Like, this woman, like, my friend Zoe and I, we will go to her to, like, we'll even just, like, go to her just, like, to talk for, like, a half an hour, like, during our lunch blocks. And we'll just go and just talk with her, like, twice a week. Like, she's so chill. Like, she's literally freaking amazing. She's, like, awesome. But yeah, I literally love her so much. And through her, I have a bunch of accommodations that I get because I have a Sago plan. Don't ask me what that means. I don't know, because, again, I was 10 when this all went down. That was 7.5 years ago. I barely remember what I ate for breakfast this morning, so how the heck am I supposed to remember what happened 7.5 years ago? I don't know. I'm just telling you guys a story from what I know now and from what my parents have told me about the past. So some of the accommodations I get are extended, like the big one that I usually use the most is extended test time. So I get extended test time for any tests or quizzes I get during any of my 4 classes, for my finals, and for my ACT, SAT. So I rarely use my extended time on normal testing quizzes at school. The only time I ever used my extended time was for finals, and then I used it for when I took my ACT in March. Luckily, I don't need my ACT for the college I'm going to, because I'm going to a community college my first year. Thank God that doesn't matter, because that didn't go over very well. But another thing with my ADHD, I suck at standardized testing. I don't know if it's just with ADHD, if, like, people without ADHD struggle with test taking too. It's probably a thing. Like, test anxiety, I know that's a thing, and that probably has nothing to do with ADHD, but, like, it's just a thing I have. My doctor thinks it's because of my ADHD. I just think it's because I'm a very anxious person in general. I just get a lot of anxiety. But anyway, this video is about my ADHD. Again, see, I get off track because my medicine wore off. It's great. So another thing that my ADHD affects is my driving. Because as I said, it does affect my focus and my concentration. So whenever I go to drive, I always have to make sure my medicine is in me a half an hour before I start driving or go anywhere or or do anything. So usually when I go from school, my medicine's starting to wear off, so I take like a 10 milligram little pill. I'm not gonna say how much my normal dosage is in the morning, because a lot of people say, oh my god, that's so high, like that's way too high for your age and your height and your weight, but like it's way too high. I get it all the time. Like, whenever I tell like doctors who aren't my actual doctor, like, yeah, this is how much I'm on, and like it's been like that for like 2.5, 3 years now. They're like, oh my god, that's so high. Like, you're so young and you're so like small and petite. And I'm like, that's what my doctor prescribed me, because the other dosages I was on before wore off very soon. Because I need to have it in my system for a minimum of 8 hours. And the dosage I'm on right now is perfect and lasts that 8 hours that I need. If you need more, then I'll just take a 10 little milligram when I get home. And it'll get me through until like 6:30, 7 o'clock when I'm done with my homework. Easy as that. No big deal. Wrong. My ADHD medications, I know there's a couple out there. Like, I'm on one, and my friend's brother used to be on like this other kind that I've heard of. Like, I was on it before. Like, I've been on 3 different ADHD medicines before. No, correction, 2. I started on one, and then like my freshman year of high school, I switched to a different one that failed, so I started gaining weight really rapidly, and then I went back to the original one and I lost all the weight, because my ADHD medicine is a stimulant. It like speeds up your brain. It's like coffee for the brain, basically. So it like stimulates my brain. It's a stimulant. So with that, I had to be very careful with caffeine intake with like teas and coffees and stuff like that. I still drink a lot of coffee anyway, and I'm still alive. Mom's like, oh my god, you can get a heart attack if you drink too much coffee. It's like, Mom, I drink like so much coffee and I'm still alive. I've never had a single heart problem in my entire life. I really should be more careful with that, because I don't actually want to end up having a heart attack and dying. But I love coffee too much. Anyway, so back to the ADHD. So it is a stimulant, so I do have to be very, very careful with what I do and with heat. Now, with my ADHD medicine, I have to be really careful with heat, because if it's too hot, and I'm not drinking enough water, I can get heat stroke, and that's not good. One time that happened to me while I was in Washington, D.C. I was in Washington, D.C. for a field trip with my Girl Scout troop, and I wasn't drinking enough water, apparently, and I started getting really, really nauseous, and I almost passed out during an event. That wasn't fun. So my mom and our bus driver had to drive me back to the hotel, where I went and I threw up and passed out on the bed and just slept for like 2 hours, and it was not very fun. So I had a headache, I was so nauseous, I was like throwing up, I passed out when I got back to the hotel. It was not very fun for me. So heat stroke, so ADHD, people with ADHD, and if you're not all people with ADHD have medications. There are different scales. Mine is worse than others, but also not as bad as others. I'm like right in the middle. That's me. I'm sorry. It's, but yeah. So I don't really know like what else to talk about for my ADHD, because like I think I covered everything. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to be starting a 12 Days of Christmas Vlogmas, since on my Instagram story it was a 95% vote to yes. So yeah. And also going to be doing a Q&A tomorrow. So if you have any questions, comment down below. I've already gotten a couple of questions from the poll that I did on my Instagram story. Why am I doing this? I'm not switching scenes. Anyway, so I have a bunch of questions from there, and if you guys have any other questions, just comment down below, and it'll be awesome. And follow me on my Instagram account, which is right here. It's private, but DM me before you follow me, so I know that like you're not just a random stranger, and that you that you watch my YouTube videos and be like, hey, I want to ask a question. So DM me before you request to follow me, so I'm like, okay. Because I accept all my DMs, because I always like want to like, you know, make sure like see who it is, if I know the person or not. Like, yeah. So let me know. So yeah, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure to hit that red subscribe button down there and hit the little bell, because you want notifications when I upload a next video, which is gonna be tomorrow. So for the next 12 days, I'm gonna be, well, starting tomorrow. For the next 12 days, starting tomorrow, I'm gonna be uploading daily vlogs, vlogmasses. Not much is going to be happening in those vlogs. It's going to be a lot of me going to school, stressing out over finals, and then stressing out over Christmas shopping. The 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th are the 4 days where you'll get the most action out of my vlogs. The 23rd I have Christmas party, 24th I have Christmas Eve with my mom's side of the family, and then Christmas Day is Christmas with my dad's side of the family. And then the day after Christmas is my dad's mom's side of the family. So yeah, that's the thing. So I hope you guys liked this video, and yeah, bye guys.